It's about moringa, hopefully. Amazing plant for animal food and human food. And this is on a coppice system. You can see all the old sticks that were frozen back. They were just laid into the center. And then they're planting some new rows. So this is also part of our student plot. So the students actually measure out the fertilizer, and they are part of the planting system. They figure out what kind of crops they want to grow. So this year it's okra, corn, beans, and zucchini. And it's a perennially based system. So it's got a border of H.E.A.R.T, moringa, Haitian basket vine, and H.E.A.R.T. And everything is done with the system. This guy, Brian Oldreed, he does a system called Farming God's Way, or Foundations for Farming, where just like in our annual beds, the mulch is just pulled back and the fertility is put right into that planting hole versus being spread across the whole plot and wasted. Yeah. So there's a constant flush of, and then these main annual crops throw off a big flush of food.
Haitian basket vine.
Next it might be
Moringa, H.E.A.R.T, Haitian basket vine.
There's actually a
This is for moringa. Solar dryer.
Just old window screens being used during most days in Florida. You'll be able to dehydrate leaves pretty easily. There's supposed to be
glass on the front. It broke last week.
Yeah, broke during a storm. The lid from the worm bin came up. So a lot of focus is put on worms. In my opinion, worms are that last refined
species of plants. So there's a lot of diversity. Some of the things probably won't work out in the long run. Some will. We'll see. But we can kind of just cruise along here. There's a whole diversity of plants. Just kind of rattle them off. There's dwarf ambarella, which will hopefully come back from the base after a freeze. Edible leaves and fruit. Lucena, nitrogen-fixing tree. Ever-bearing mulberry. Daylilies with edible buds. Habanero pepper that's not hot, the perennial sweet pepper. Milkweed vine, Marinea odorata. Canna edulis. This is Lucena edulis, which is a Lucena species with edible leaves. 4 different varieties of H.E.A.R.T are through here. Bay leaf tree for bay leaves. You can see when you come through. Pit, this is a rare sugarcane relative that makes these flower spikes with like a dense kind of cauliflower vegetable in them. You peel it back like a corn cob, and there's this. Yeah, you guys should grow that.
You said pit?
Pit. You got to get that from the USDA.
I've been looking for that for a while.
You notice the keyhole system?
Yeah.
Using a lot of space, a lot of space in the system.
Thanks.
More arrowroot, balembe, which is like a taro relative with cooked greens. Cherry of the Rio Grande. If you want to grow Suriname cherries, but you think it's too cold where you are, this one might be a better option. It's a little more cold hardy. Every fruit tree has a Mexican sunflower planted near it for phosphorus accumulation. So you'll see bigger established ones down that way. Sugarcane, of course. Another variety of H.E.A.R.T, aloe vera. 4 different varieties of papaya. This is a really unhappy Piper sarmentosum, which is a shade-tolerant ground cover with edible spice, kind of spicy ginger tasting leaves. You want to pass this down the line so people can smell. It's kind of interesting. Let's see. This is Peruvian apple cactus. If you like dragon fruit, but it's cold where you are, you can plant this. The fruit of this are pink, and this can take like 20 degrees, and it makes these big pink fruits, and that's an awesome drought-tolerant fruit crop for most of Florida. There's there's banana selections here that will fruit in a short cycle, so they'll fruit even in Central Florida. Rajapuri and Viente Cojo. Sweet potato will eventually be a ground cover in here. Feijoa, pineapple guava. This is black locust. It's a nitrogen-fixing tree that has rot-resistant lumber, so a post you can put in the ground, it can last 50 years. It's like pressure-treated wood. Apuntia, prickly pear cactus fruit, Tradescantia, Ohio spiderwort. This is another Mexican sunflower. So we use this in our food forest as a chop and drop species. So the fruit tree right here wants phosphorus, and this is really good at pulling up phosphorus. So Mexican sunflowers and different spinaches. There's longevity spinach and Okinawa spinach, and Turk's cap, edible flowers, and African blue basil, and muscadine grapes, pindo palm, shampoo ginger. Then around the bend there's Seminole pumpkins. Anyways, there's a lot of plants.
Yeah. This is a bird pepper right here.
The nut plant.
K-tuk, or the jatropha here. Yeah. K-tuk has a nutty flavor. Jatropha, it's used a lot for oil production, but this is an edible variety. If you eat them, the other varieties, they can make you not do well at all.
Yeah.
And then this hill is tied into our aquaponics system, so the fish wastewater is
Using this to get hit by cold, but you can see it took our freezes this year with no problem. So if you're looking for a good, like, cold hardy nitrogen fixing tree, that might be an option.
Tipuana tipu.
And a little soy sauce. It's like a really, really good cooked green. This is, what's that? Well, I'm calling it edible leaf mulberry now. But it's a variety Echo was distributing. They were calling it everbearing, which isn't helpful because there's a lot of other varieties already named that aren't this. But the young, it's not this one, it's this one. The young leaves when they're still light green. And this mulberry can produce more protein per acre than soybean in leaf tissue in a year. So this is one of the highest protein leaf crops you can grow. So I'm trying to really promote this. We're using it for animal fodder here, but it can also be really good human fodder.
see the rabbit.
And this
Coppiced
is all
mulberry
last,
can
like,
live
month
for
and a half.
hundreds of
It grows hard in like a rice
yarrow root, taro,
thing.
malanga.
This just waters it and it all settles away. Pretty much all that is for.
Conical tank.
Any questions?
It has a conical bottom that it swirls through and the sediment sinks to the bottom and it separates it.